You create your own reality. There is no other rule. Today on Awakening with Amy. Hi, welcome. I'm Amy Valentine, certified life coach, hoping to awaken within you a mindset that you can be, do, and have any desire. And today we're going to talk about how we create our own reality. This really comes from the teachings of Abraham Hicks. And Esther and Jerry went to Seth. Actually, that was an entity that Jane Roberts channeled, I think in the 60s, 70s, something like that. And anyway, that's what Seth said through Jane Roberts, that you create your own reality. There's no other rule. And that Jerry Hicks took that and ran with it. He wanted to know how that's true. And that really is the basis of the teachings of Abraham Hicks. And I have all their books. They're awesome and amazing. So I highly recommend them. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to break this down and simplify it, because I think sometimes we humans, we just overcomplicate everything, including me. Like, we just overanalyze these things and we forget. We forget because we're in the illusion of this physical reality, and we forget our true nature. We forget who we really are, that we already know this stuff. We're manifesting whether we know it or not. And when I say illusion, I'm just saying that it's not that reality isn't real. Of course it's real. I'm saying the illusion, it's not the whole picture. You know, like Jesus said, judge not by the appearances, but with righteous judgment. Righteous judgment meaning judge from that multi-dimensional you, the higher you, that includes everything, the physical and the non-physical you, your soul, your spirit, and your physical personality, you. And it's all one, right? But we just get caught up in the illusion thinking that the physical reality is the only reality. And it's really, like Abraham says, that's less than 1% of the whole truth of ultimate reality. So 99.99% of all our potentials, other alternate realities, other versions of you, is 99.9% of truth of reality. Wild, right? Crazy. Right? So this is really about understanding that you create your own reality because you're the only one. You're the operant power. You're the only one that gets to decide who and what you say you are. And if you don't believe that, then you're letting someone else or something else decide for you. So that means you're creating by default. And that is just the program. That's the program of fear that we all have within us. We all were brought up. We all took on from age up to age 7 or 8 years old, right? We all took on the energy of our environment, whether we know it or not. And it's nobody's fault, but that's just the way it happens, right? Until we can wake up in that illusion, wake up to the fact that we create our own reality and we can start over right now. So this is not about blaming the past or anyone or anything in it. It's quite the opposite, because blame and guilt is conditional living. It's conditional love. And conditional is always the ego. It's always the voice of fear telling you that there's some outside force that can impose its will onto you. And that's never true. It's never, ever true. It's not the way the universe is. Think about it. The universe is just oneness. It's just unconditional love. When we believe in an opposing power, we're creating that power. And the point is that when we're in fear, it's false evidence appearing real. That fear is resistance to our natural state. And what is our natural state? Who we really are? I am awareness is unconditional love, right? It's the higher mind. It's that part of us, that unseen part of us that came into a physical body to condition reality towards our ideal. That's what Neville Goddard says. Your only job is to surrender to your ideal. And really, that's the golden rule, isn't it? Do unto others as you'd have done to yourself, meaning then let everybody else off the hook too, because they didn't know what they were doing, right? They didn't know that they create their own reality. They were talked out of their power because they let the illusion of life convince them of their unworthiness. And that's how we disconnect ourselves from our true source, our true nature, unconditional love. And unconditional love is all about connection, oneness, unity. And we have the ability to shape our own reality, not change it, not fix it, not fight against it. The key is non-resistance, love, and fearless faith, like Florence Scovel Shinn talks about. So, circumstances don't matter. They never, ever matter because there's only ever here and now. You create your own reality, not to blame yourself, not to regret. No, to understand I'm the operant power and the universe is only ever responding to me now, to my now vibration, to my now beliefs, to what I want to believe to be true now. And remember, a belief is just a thought you kept thinking. It doesn't have any empirical truth. We make them true by our focus and attention, right? Beliefs are just, within every belief is the components for really making them true. They're all self-fulfilling prophecies. So why not believe in your unlimited nature, that you're here to mold your reality, to create your reality from that higher perspective, that unconditional love, instead of the ego, which is fear. I have a client, I don't want to give too many details because, it's really personal, but she's going through IVF right now to become pregnant. And she was telling me that, she's mostly positive, mostly excited, but she, the fear creeps in because she had lost a child previously. And we broke down that fear. I told her, listen, all emotions, all feelings are just messengers. And when we don't fight them, we can hear the underlying message. And I said, when you're in fear, it's okay. Feel that fear, let it rise up until it ends, and then it will end. It will go back, just like a wave crashes back into the ocean. Because why? Because this is the key, because fear has no power. There is no such thing as a fear God and a loving God. No, there's only one God, oneness, unity, and it's all love. But we invert that love because we learn fear. We believe fear in, and it only has power if we give it power. And we give it power by avoiding it, fighting it, resisting it, or believing in it. So I told her, just let that fear be there. It's just normal, it's natural, it's okay, it's the process of life. Why? Because the fear is telling you you're going in the wrong direction. You're going against yourself. You're resisting who you really are. That fear is lying to you, telling you that you can't be who you want to be or can't have what you want to have. And when you examine that and question it and face it, it falls under the weight of examination because fear is never, ever, ever true. Only love is the truth. So we want to bring love and light to all circumstances, to all conditions. That's how you transform that fear, by not fighting it, not resisting it, right? So we take responsibility. That's what it means to be the creator of your own reality, to be the conscious creator. Because if you're not the conscious creator, then you're creating by default. You're doing it anyway, you're just doing it by default. So that's that old program, that unconscious program that's running in the background, that fear-based stuff, will take over your life. And so now you're letting the illusion dictate who and what you say you are, instead of you using the illusion to say who you are. Remember, Dolores Cannon said you are the writer, the producer, the director, and the actor in the game of your life. You play all the parts. We play all the parts for a good reason, so we can integrate them all and love them all, bring love and light. So remember, when you feel that fear and doubt, don't worry, it's okay. It just means in that moment, you're lacking faith, you're lacking the trust that you really do create your own reality. So call it out. And how the whole mechanism for manifesting on purpose is to affirm, to assume, to intend consciously your ideal, and then surrender, let go. Those two go together, right? It's intending and assuming and affirming your ideal. And then the second component is surrender. Surrender to that higher mind. Remember what Bashar says, the lower mind, the physical mind, is not designed to know how something is going to happen. Its only job is to focus, is to create a new intention, to consciously create an idea. Focus on that idea and then let it go, give it up to the higher self. And then just follow the trail, follow the path. And like I said, when those fears come up, call them out. False evidence appearing real, don't fight them, don't avoid them, don't try to fix them, do nothing with them. Remember, it's an inclusive universe. You can't get rid of anything. So we cannot invalidate the fear. The fear is here for us to help us clarify, to help us mold ourselves into the new version, to manifest the new reality, right? And remember, it's only ever here and now. So you get a do-over every moment, every day, every moment of every day. So you create your own reality because you're the only one that can say who you are in relationship to everything else. So don't let the outside world tell you who you are. You take your control back, take responsibility for your life in a loving way, unconditionally loving way. That means you have the ability to respond the way you want to respond. It has nothing to do with guilt and all those icky emotions. Remember, that's the ego present, just a messenger telling you wrong direction. You're going against who you really are. So we get to create our own reality. We get to mold it and embrace that, love that. And you will literally see an entire new world open up to you. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. That's how we get the message out there. And thank you for subscribing. And until next time, have a wonderful day.